So in this video here, you can see I have a start point. We're going to run to our checkpoint. This little white box indicates our respawn, so if I jump off here, we respawn here. If I enter this area, our spawn moves here. If I jump off, we respawn here. I have this little quitting game simulation here and then reloading the game, and as you can see, it saves our checkpoint. We can go ahead and continue. Make it back here. Jump off. Quit. Come back. And yeah, so we have this pretty cool little checkpoint system here. And yeah, let's get into the video. As you can see, I've already created like a little course just to help showcase it. I haven't added anything else other than my player and my player camera. So basically, I'm at the very start. I've only added 2 things plus my course. So if you haven't made your character or your camera, go ahead and do so. I'm guessing you guys are watching this with your own scenes and projects, so you're probably already there, so let's get right into it. So let's see here. The idea of this, well, let me go ahead and just show you. I'm going to create an empty here. I'm going to call it player spawn. So the way I'm going to do this, you're going to respawn on the spawn every time. That was weird. You're going to respawn on the spawn location every time the scene is loaded up. So basically when you die or get reset, it's going to restart the scene. So there's going to be a little save load integration in this where, you know, if you make it there and your respawn moves up there and you die, when you load the scene, your respawn will still be there. So you're going to have some kind of save system integrated. But let's go ahead and create our spawn point. I'm just going to make it a plane. Something like that. Okay. So that is our player spawn. And the idea of this, so I'm going to go ahead and move it right here. So at the very start of our scene, like I was saying, you're going to have a trigger. Oh, I already had it from when I tested it. So you're going to add a trigger on start. You're going to teleport your player to your game object player spawn. So as soon as we load this up, our player should automatically move there. Just like that. So there's the idea of it. Now let's go ahead and actually make it a thing. So right off the bat, wherever your checkpoints may be, this is what we're going to do. So for checkpoint 1, we are going to create a trigger. So we're going to create an empty. Call it trigger. And we're going to add a box collider. Make that box collider a trigger. And we're going to scale it up to about the same size as my checkpoint here. There we go. So the moment I touch the blue, I've activated this checkpoint. So we're going to make sure our player has the player tag on them. Player. Okay. So now in this trigger, we are going to add a trigger tag enter under player. And the moment we touch it, we will move, or sorry, change position. Change position of our player spawn to checkpoint 1. World space. And that should work. Let's go ahead and give that a test. There we go. There's our new spawn point. Now, for the save load system. We're going to be using stats for this, or you can use variables. If you know how to use variables, then you should get the idea of how I do it using stats. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a folder down here called stats. Try and keep it organized. Let's create our class being, I don't know, level. Create our attribute and stat. So this will be checkpoints, I guess. I don't know. Okay, and then let's create the stat for that one. Checkpoints max. Alright, and max checkpoints, depending on how big your level is or what you're going for. I'm going to just put it as 10, but I only have 2 really. Alright, let's add these to our class. Okay, so as we enter this one, we're going to add a new instruction saying, actually I guess we got to assign that class to, I'm going to assign it to my world here, so we're going to add a trait, add the level class to it, and turn checkpoints down to 0. So as we enter this, we will change our stat, so we will change the world, so game object, world, change the checkpoint stat, we will set it to 1. So now we've entered that, and we're at checkpoint number 1 now there. We're going to go ahead and copy this, paste it onto checkpoint 2, and we will move it to checkpoint 2 this time, and change this to number 2. Now, we're going to add another script here, so create an empty, call it checkpoint scripts. So, we're going to add a trigger, on start, run conditions, add the conditions, and this is basically going to be, so every time we load up the scene, this is going to tell us where the checkpoint should go. So if stat world, if the checkpoint stat equals 0, then we will change position of our player spawn to our game object, our start. So basically no checkpoints, you're at start. Now we will duplicate that. If world checkpoint equals 1, we will move our player spawn to checkpoint 1. And then one more time for checkpoint 2. So world 2, move player spawn to checkpoint 2. Okay. Now, that will all work. It's hard to showcase without any way to die and reload, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. So let's go ahead and create some kind of death trigger down here. Let's see, world, plane. Let's go ahead and add a box collider to this plane. Trigger. Let's see what we're dealing with here. It's really hard to tell on a flat surface. Yeah, so that's good. And we're gonna call this, we're gonna make a tag for it. This will be level reset. Or no, not level reset, because we don't want to restart the level. We want to reset player. And you know what? I'm going to do this real fast without the save load system. But I will turn it into that after if you guys are interested. But for now, we'll just keep it basic. So, let's see. Where is that? Box collider, trigger, reset player. Okay. So now our player, let's create a trigger on our player now. Create empty. We'll rename this reset trigger. Box collider trigger. Kind of scale it to the size of our player here. There we go. So now we are going to add a trigger on this. So trigger on tag enter. Reset player. We will teleport our player to our game object respawn. Now, theoretically, this should all work. I feel like I rushed that, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. So let's go ahead and run off here, see if we respawn. Yes, we do. I should lower that plane a little bit, let us fall. There's our spawn now. Okay, so that's working pretty good. So there's a basic version of it if you guys are interested. I'm going to go ahead and make a save load version of it right now, past this point, but if you guys aren't interested, well, this probably should be enough to help you. Let's see. So with the save load version, this is where our checkpoint scripts come in. So every time we hit a checkpoint, so checkpoint 1, every time we hit that trigger, we will save game. Checkpoint 2, trigger, save game. And let's see, so it's not necessarily how this would work, but let's just say when you hit this collider, the reset player, you know, you could have your instant spawn back here, but the way I'm about to show you, let's just say, you know, you got halfway through a level and you decide to shut the game down for now and reload it later. Well, you'll reload at your checkpoint here. So instead of me hitting that, we will now load scene. Or no, you know what, we will keep that the way it was. We will teleport. I will add like a quit game button and a rejoin game button instead to better showcase. Sorry, I'm being very sloppy with this. I haven't made a tutorial in ages, so we're going to keep that all the same. I'm going to test it one more time. You guys can go ahead and skip forward a bit, but just want to make sure I didn't ruin anything right there. So perfect. And let's just make sure our world checkpoints. So our checkpoints aren't actually moving anywhere. That's interesting. Oh, because I never added the checkpoint stat to the checkpoints. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's test that, see if this is going up now. So checkpoint is 0. Checkpoint 1. Okay, so that works. We're going to go ahead and add a remember function onto this. Get rid of these and just add the stats attributes. So we'll remember the attribute when the game loads. So So now for the next part, let's just say for whatever reason the game shuts down and you decide to reload it. We're going to go ahead and make a canvas here. So I'm going to make two canvases actually. I'm going to make a fake load screen real fast just to, you know, give the idea that we're actually loading into something. Okay, so this will be our load screen. And our load screen, I'm going to add a trigger on it. You do not have to follow this in any way, but trigger on start, wait 1 second, set active self to false, and that's going to be on enable actually. And let's just turn that off. Game load right off the start. Let's set active our load screen to true. Okay. Now the other canvas, what was I going to do the other canvas? Oh yeah, I was going to add like a little button to quit our game. So canvas, let's add a, what am I doing? Game creator UI button. Alright, this button is going to quit our game for us. Alright, and it will also save our game as well, so on that we will save game, set active load screen to true. I'm going to wait half a second to give it time to save, and then we are going to load our game. Okay, this is very dumb, but it should work, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and make it to the first checkpoint, and well, actually I'm gonna go die here. Let's see. Quit, reload my game. Let's make it to checkpoint 1. Die, test that. Good. Quit, reload our game. Okay, so we didn't spawn to our checkpoint right away. So we're gonna go ahead and delay that a little bit. Checkpoint scripts on start, move that there. Okay, and then instead of teleporting our player right away, we will wait half a second. Give us time to teleport after the spawn moves itself. Okay. Do that. Kill ourselves. Quit. Reload. And we are now at checkpoint 1. Perfect. Checkpoint 2. And that is it. That's a very basic. You probably didn't need the whole load and load into your checkpoint. I feel like you should get punished if you decide to quit a level halfway through, so you know you should probably restart your level, but there you go. You have checkpoints both ways now for you, so hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys in another video sometime soon.